I would like to invite you to observe. There is something strange happening in the world today. Not war, not new technology, but something far quieter. More and more people wake up in the morning and feel tired. Not because they lack sleep, but because life feels like a machine. Wake up, work, chase, repeat. And one day, in the middle of ordinary busyness, a question appears, without sound, without drama. Is this all that life is? The question is small, but dangerous, because from that moment on, you can never return to being the same person. We live in the most advanced era in human history. We can talk to anyone, know almost anything, go anywhere. Yet something is missing. Why is anxiety increasing? Why has loneliness become an epidemic? Why do people who have everything say, "I feel empty"? Perhaps the problem is not humanity. Perhaps it is the direction of civilization. We learned how to make money, but we never learned how to live. Every great awakening is born from crisis. When economic systems make many people feel left behind, when nature begins to suffer, when human relationships become shallow, crisis is not a punishment. It is a calling, like an alarm that keeps ringing until we wake up. Technology develops very quickly, but human wisdom moves slowly. And when the distance between the two becomes too great, suffering appears. Not to destroy humanity, but to awaken it. Spiritual awakening does not mean leaving the world. It is not fanaticism, nor is it escaping to the mountains. It is the moment when someone realizes, I am not only this body. I am not only my job. I am not only the story of my past. More than 2,000 years ago, Gautama Buddha left the palace not because he lacked anything, but because he saw something unavoidable: human suffering. He discovered that the root of suffering was not the outside world, but a mind that does not know itself. Centuries later, modern spiritual thinkers such as Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar explained that human beings have three essential needs: physical, mental, and spiritual. If only the body is fulfilled, the mind becomes restless. If only the intellect develops, the heart remains hungry. Spirituality is balance. It is not merely an addition to life, it is the foundation. The greatest changes do not always appear in the news. They happen in silence. Someone begins to meditate. Communities start practicing yoga together. A mother chooses a simpler life. A young person leaves a meaningless job. Neighbors begin helping one another again. People return to growing their own food. They care more about the earth. They care more about mental health. There is no official announcement, yet human consciousness is moving. Like the changing of seasons, not suddenly, but certainly. There is a great misunderstanding that being spiritual means withdrawing from the world. In reality, those who are truly awakened become more present, more courageous, more compassionate. Because when the ego becomes smaller, humanity becomes greater. They cannot see hunger without asking, "What can I do?" They cannot see nature being destroyed without taking action. True spirituality always gives birth to service. Without it, it becomes only personal comfort. Imagine if leaders possessed inner depth, economic systems served human beings, education taught empathy, technology was guided by wisdom. Perhaps conflicts would decrease. Perhaps exploitation would stop. Perhaps humanity would stop feeling alone. Change in the world may not begin with a great revolution, but with small awareness spreading from person to person. Perhaps spiritual awakening is not something distant. It happens when you sit alone, without distraction, without a screen, and something inside asks, "Who am I, really? Why do I exist? How can I love more?" If those questions arise, do not be afraid, because perhaps you are not losing your way, you are finding your way home. And do not stop there. Continue walking that path home, even if it appears full of mystery. There will be many questions to ask, much to learn, much to do. That journey will give you peace, because the way home is the path of true peace. Thank you.